Season 3 of Overwatch 1-2 will bring with it reworks to two of the most frustrating heroes in the game. And life rework, I guess. Personally, I found Roadhog to be especially frustrating since release 10 years ago. His hook makes sense when you consider its MOBA inspiration, but there it serves to start or end a combo, hardly ever facilitating a kill by itself. Probably, I don't play MOBA because I don't hate myself that much. It's just never felt fair or appropriate in an FPS where simply having line of sight, the thing you need to do damage at all, with a tank of all things is immediately punishable by death. So here's how I'd fix him. Hook should tether rather than pull, like a mini Malga cage. Targets would be tethered just far enough that you can land a secondary with maximum effect, while keeping them hindered and unable to break line of sight for 3 seconds. During this time, Hog can drag them with his movement and even gets damage reduction while they're hooked. This makes Hook less of an immediate threat, which means the hitbox and cooldown can be more forgiving. At the same time, Hog becomes more of a mid-range threat that demands just as much space as before, but can now actually stay and hold that space thanks to a more defensive hook. Plus, ulting a hooked enemy would shred them where they are, no wall necessary. It keeps the character's main gimmick, but shifts its purpose to be more defensive, like a tank should be. To further emphasize his area denial style, Pigpen should return. Hog having a trap designed to catch flankers and to go along with Junkrats just makes sense. The only problem before, the reason they cut it, was, again, Hook. It was just an extra step for the same one-shot gimmick that shouldn't be in a tank. That's why Marvel Rivals put pulls like this on their DPS, where it belongs. If Hook one-shots are no longer a thing, it becomes a useful tool for shutting down side angles or slowing down the main choke. The only change I'd make is it needs to be planted at his feet, not tossed into the choke during the chaos for free damage. It needs to be intentional, defensive. Probably less damage in general anyway, but more slow or even hinder. Now, being a bruiser usually comes with self-sustain that extends to allies in battle. Or at least it should, since it's a tank sub-role. Malga's lifesteal is shared with nearby allies, and Zarya can, and should, bubble her allies. But Hog and Orisa lack this crucial trait, and this leads them to feeling more like super tanks, or big DPS as I call them. Throwing away team sustain and space for just straight up criminal damage and selfish sustain that should really only be on a proper DPS. Now, unfortunately, we're not talking about Orisa right now, but we can fix Hog's lack of team sustain by modifying Breather. First off, make it 2 charges again. You'll see why in a minute. Each charge is 50% max HP in healing and 20% damage reduction over 1.5 seconds. This is down from Breather's normal 40%, but the healing is snappier and you can always stack the DR with hooks if for some reason you need it. On top of this, each use leaves a cloud of healing for himself and allies that heals 25% his max HP, so around 150, over 5 seconds and a residual 10% damage reduction to allies, actually giving him a team sustainability. This is different from the perk which follows him and only works while he heals, as this is stationary healing akin to soldiers that lets him further hold a position and support his team. What you get out of this rework is a Hog that actually feels like a tank the team can rally behind, rather than a mega gulp DPS that's just there to get kills. A trait that so many of the tanks fall into nowadays, breaking up the balance of the roles and invalidating damage's purpose, while sucking up all support's attention since they're going to get more kills thanks to the bigger health bar anyway. I already complained about the big DPS epidemic of 5v5 in a previous video, and since that hasn't been fixed yet, you're welcome to watch that video next. I'll try to get a video out on Samra before Season 3 drops, since she's also a heavily controversial hero with a very confusing identity that I think befits a different role. Until then, see ya!